Alright, today we're going to show you a Brown & Sharpe cylindrical grinder. This is a universal model. This is a 10 by 20U. So you've got 10 inches of swing by 20 inches of working area. You've got a swing down ID attachment. You've got a headstock that can swivel, and you've got a wheel head that can swivel in several places. Tailstock, your hand wheel is got a fine feed dial. This machine is equipped with pick feed grinding, meaning that you feed each time you reverse the table, either on the left side, the right side, or on both sides. This is currently wired for 440 volts, and I'm going to go ahead and start it up. So that's the hydraulics and the grinding spindle on. So over here we start our work head. Now this work head is a I believe this is a live and dead work head. You could lock the spindle so that only the outer drum is rotating for grinding between centers with the drive dog, or you can have the whole thing rotating like it is right now for putting a faceplate on there or a chuck. Now the outside taper on here is a number 5 lathe, American lathe taper. It's in our quotation. The bore taper is a Brown & Sharpe number 12. And then that's reduced to a Giorno number 7. And the work head or tailstock is also a Giorno number 7. That's just the tapers that Brown & Sharpe uses. So we start and stop the work head with this lever here, and can increase or decrease the speed with this potentiometer or control knob over here. Next is your table, which starts when you hit the lever, and you control the speed from here. You can move these dogs out. It's a good idea to let this travel at its full length, maximum length, to get all the air and all the bubbles out of the system. So this starts your table, and this controls the speed of it. Your hand wheel, your in-feed hand wheel is here. It has a stop position where it's all the way up into its little nest there, or little harness, and then when it comes all the way around to 0, it's up against the dead stop, and then it's at 0. You have a lever here that you raise up when you want to move this hand wheel around more than 1 revolution. When you're ready to use it, you put it back down, so you have your fixed solid stop here. To start your in-feed, you push that lever that way, you'll hear the relay in the cabinet, and now each time I reverse, we're going to feed. Just going to speed this up a little. And right now it's feeding on both. It's feeding on both reversals. I could shut one side off. So it only feeds on one side, or I could shut the other one off and turn that one on. And I can also adjust here how much it feeds each time, from a tenth up to 2/1000ths increment. So it's very adjustable with that control adjuster there. The other thing that this can do, when you want to stop the automatic in-feed, you pull this lever back to this side, and that'll stop. This will stop your table. This will stop your work head. You have another selector switch here where you can put this on automatic, little automatic cycle that they have, where I could start everything with just the movement of this hand wheel. That's when you're all set up and you got kind of a lot of pieces to do, and you just want to get going. This will start your headstock, and start your table going. You would still have to select that lever there to actually engage the clutch mechanism that gives you your feed. Machine uses an oil that has hydraulic and lubricant in it, Lube, so it's a mobile Vaculine number 5. That's the 32 weight. You could probably also use the thicker oil, the 46, which is the Vaculine 1409. I think I've covered everything. Let me just show you the ID attachment. Okay, you got your table hand wheel is always disconnected when it's running. And this mechanism right now is a very fine feed for your table when you want to move this table by hand. You also have a coarser movement for positioning or moving around. Let's see what else. I guess that's about it. It was something else, but it slipped my mind. Oh yeah, we're going to show you the ID attachment. We fold this down, shut everything off. There's a little clip to the left here, what you undo and bring this down, and you got your belt up here. So the spindle, the grinding wheel spindle, the big wheel, or the OD wheel, has a different motor than the ID. The ID has this motor that's up there on top. It's a lot faster. Brown & Sharpe actually has a selection here for external grinding and internal grinding, which is the only machine I know of that actually has that. So when you put this on ID grinding and you turn your hand wheel counterclockwise, which is the way that the wheel would come towards your workpiece in OD grinding, when you switch this gearing mechanism to internal grinding, you still turn the hand wheel in this direction, but instead of it moving toward you, it moves away from you. So it's grinding at the back of the bore. That's just the way they designed it. A lot of your dedicated, like Bryant and Heald, those machines don't grind toward the operator, they grind away from the operator at the back of the part. So that's what Brown & Sharpe is doing here. They also have a coarse setting, so you can crank this slide in and out quickly, because when you fold this down, you're going to be a lot further forward than you were when you had your grinding wheel on there. So you need to be able to travel around a lot with this. This also has mounted in between, or sandwiched in between the two swiveling plates, an eccentric plate that allows you to move this thing in a whole nother set of positions. Right now the eccentric plate has this spindle all the way forward. If I was to loosen everything up and spin that plate so that it was at the rear, this whole spindle would move all the way to the back without me touching this hand wheel. So it's an eccentric plate that gives you even more options. So when you're not using this, you fold it up out of the way. Make sure it locks in there. And that's it. That's the Brown & Sharpe 10x20 Universal ID-OD cylindrical grinder. Thank you very much.